This tutorial video will address the question, what am I submitting November 19th? On November 19th, you will be submitting a portfolio that includes 5 sections of the ILP. The mentor profile, the candidate profile, candidate's identified needs, collaboration with administrator, the initial date, and professional growth goals. This screenshot illustrates the sections due November 19th. The first 2 sections include the mentor profile, the candidate profile, the candidate's identified needs, collaboration with administrator, and the professional growth goals. This slide illustrates a screenshot of what the portfolio will look like when it is submitted on November 19th. Notice that the ILP portfolio is titled Candidate's Name, followed by the words Individualized Learning Plan, and the mentor's name. In yellow, you see the ILP attached in the portfolio. Remember that on November 19th, you will only submit the mentor profile, the candidate profile, the candidate's identified needs, collaboration with the administrator, and the professional growth goals. To support the candidate and the mentor in completing the sections of the ILP due on November 19th, you will find guides in the ILP embedded within the template itself. By clicking on the hyperlinks under each section of the ILP, you will access directions, prompts, resources, or supporting documents intended to help you understand what is required to complete each section of the ILP. You may also access these guides by clicking on the first hyperlink, Guide for ILP, listed at the top of the ILP template. You may access these guides by clicking on either of the 2 options highlighted in the purple or yellow. Here are some examples of the resources available when you click on the links in the ILP template. The hyperlink for the mentor and candidate profiles will provide a resource that gives you several response options. As you can see, the guide lists response options for teaching assignment for the mentor and the candidate, credential type for the mentor and the candidate. It also includes some prompts to explain the mentoring experience, teacher preparation program, and years of teaching experience for the candidate. The Candidate's Identified Needs section of the ILP also has a hyperlink that will provide you a copy of the note-taking guide provided during the first mentor training. In this note-taking guide, you will notice prompts that will guide you in completing each component of the candidate's identified needs. Remember to use the notes gathered from the conversation guides to list the student's needs that might trigger a professional growth goal in the ILP. These are screenshots of the 3 conversation guides provided during the first mentor training to support the conversations between mentors and candidates at the beginning of the year as they get to know and understand their students' needs. In prior experience, the candidate and mentor should identify the strengths and growth needs based on the candidate's teacher preparation experience, the transition plan completed at the end of student teaching, or previous teaching experiences. In the observation subsection, the mentor and candidate need to identify the strengths and growth needs identified collaboratively during the reflective conversation based on data gathered during the first observation conducted by the mentor. In the collaboration with administrator subsection, the mentor and candidate should list input provided by the site administrator during the meeting. This input may include district initiatives, needs based on the candidate's teaching context, or priorities identified as a result of observations conducted by the site administrator. This guide provides some topics for discussion during the initial meeting with the administrator. In the self-assessment subsection, the mentor and candidate will identify the CSTP elements that are areas of growth for the candidate. Remember to use the guide to conduct the self-assessment, as it is important to be very thoughtful and strategic about identifying CSTP elements that represent the areas of growth for the candidate. The collaboration with administrators section requires that you write the name of the administrator that the mentor and candidate met with and the date of the initial meeting. You do not need to include any notes about the discussion between the mentor, candidate, and the site administrator, aside from what's included in the candidate's identified needs. The Professional Growth Goals link will take you to resources shared with mentors and candidates during Candidate Mentor Seminar 2 to support the development of professional growth goals. Remember that the growth goals need to name the target population and answer the questions, who do I want to target, me or my students? Who is my target student population? Is it my entire class, a subgroup, or a focus student? It also needs to identify the measurable outcome and answer questions such as, what do I want to improve? My teaching practices, skills or strategies? Is it student behavior, or is it an academic skill? It also needs to include the general teaching strategy. What strategy could I use to achieve my measurable outcome? It also includes a professional growth goal frame that may be used to write the professional growth goal. How can I improve and name the target population, ability to name the measurable outcome through the use of and name the general teaching strategy. You will notice that the goal is more in the form of a question. This frame provides a more natural way to define the professional growth goal. While the teachers don't have to use this frame, they do need to include the three elements in their goal: target population, measurable outcome, and general teaching strategy. The next tutorial video will address the topic, What am I submitting February 18th?